Good evening. I'm Alan Osborne. It's been a while. Gonna make this short and sweet. But anyway, for those of you who didn't know, you can look kind of behind me. Making some progress on corruption, starting with a home builder. But I ain't done. But I had a hard time yesterday celebrating that win because uh, at the, earlier we lost somebody, and this show is for you. Fred Tricker, you were some kind of man. And he did a lot for people. You know, he's the kind of man. Uh, Fred supported me for years in some of these endeavors to make people follow the rules and try to uncover things and make people do right in planning and have some kind of way to preserve what was left of paradise before the corrupt gave it away for just the benefit of a very few. Fred Tricker served on the planning board. He spoke at I don't know how many BCC meetings. And he served people that weren't as good as him. He served idiots sometimes, but he served them humbly. And they didn't deserve him. And he tried to make where he lived and his community a better place and wanted nothing for it. And he was more of a gentleman than I could ever be, and tolerant and well spoken, and didn't cuss and like I was. And I thought the world of you, Fred Tricker. And on behalf of what you did, yesterday's win, I dedicate that to you and people like you that supported me. And on behalf of you, Fred, I want you to know that I ain't done with the county. And I don't want to settle with them either. I want to see some people put to a jury trial. I want to see some engineers depositioned and some commissioners and staff too. I've had enough of this. These people who have hid behind people like Trump and Charlie Kirk that ain't nothing like them. Let me say, our sheriff, all these people that were already here in power when Trump wasn't in power, now they're doing all these things. What the hell was stopping them before other than they're hiding on somebody else's coattails? They're not leading us anywhere. And they're nothing like Trump or Charlie Kirk. They're just rhinos, Republicans in name only, and they ain't here for nothing but to fund themselves, like that piece of man-made sand for $80 million that was political quid pro quo. Just horse shit. Let me tell you something too, County. I beat Adams Holmes, and I want the public to know during the trial, I was not allowed to use the 4 letters from the state that said they were breaking the rules. They got to act to the jury like they had followed all the rules. We couldn't even talk about the findings. We couldn't even use the word DRI or ordinance. And some judge ruled that FLOAC, the Florida Water and Conservation Committee, that somehow they had a rule over local ordinance, so it wasn't fit to be heard in the court. And despite 20 years of delays, or 17, 16 years of continuations, and despite people dying off, and despite having our hands tied behind our back, the truth came to the surface. It was what it was. And like Fred told me one day, you can't change that. And somebody needed to stop. Fred, you are a great man. I imagine you're a horrible loss for your family. Irreplaceable. And you're irreplaceable for our community as a man of integrity. And my hat's off to you. What a good person you were. Fred's broad experience all over the world gave him a sight picture that most of us just don't have by simply his experience. So to you people out there involved in this other mess, to you engineers that are lying or don't want to tell the whole truth, yeah, I'm coming still. To you commissioners, and to you staff members who have lied and put the citizens at peril with their own damn money, we got some questions for you, and it ain't over. So, Clay, Brad, Donna, Danny, I'm telling you, y'all gonna have a seat at the table, and you ain't gonna hide behind this shit. You ain't gonna hide and say, "Oh, look, it was them." Because what we still had was corruption, and we got a lot of those same staff members who got away with it. Insanity is keeping the same people and expecting a different result. How about that? And like I said, I'm not going to gloat too much on this win, because it really is just the tip of the iceberg that we need to change. If we're going to act like some conservatives, then we can't do the stupid shit that we see our commission doing. And we sure can't let them reward staff members for breaking policy. You know what your reward for breaking policy in the military was? More work and some punishment. No, we don't reward people for doing the wrong thing, and covering it up don't help nobody. Adams Homes got held responsible for flooding. That's right. And I didn't own Adams Homes. They didn't have a right to flood my property. All you people in this county who are sitting somewhere who've got downstream water on you, especially in Sandestin, you contact me. Yep, this stuff's going to stop. It's going to go away just like the PGA sponsored golf tournament on the citizens' money. Why would we sponsor the golf tournament at a resort that's out of compliance? And we got water problems there, like water quality problems. And that came out in the trial too. Something else, despite this award above, the jury said that's only 40%, that the county did 40% of it. You know what that means, don't you? Clay, you should have taken that offer. You know, y'all should have worked with me. You shouldn't have done all that stuff. You shouldn't have lied. You know, it's time to do the right thing. Brian Kellenberger, if you're going to do something, get after it. Do it. Or just sit there and grin and be part of the same old problem. Get rid of him too. If he can't do what he's supposed to do, if he couldn't stand up and fix any of the problems, and I'm going to go into that one night, he's part of the problem too. Until these people admit what had happened and who did it and what happened, they'll never correct it. Because have you ever seen an alcoholic stop drinking who didn't admit they were an alcoholic? Or an addict put something down that they hadn't admitted they were addicted to? Our county's addicted to a budget that doubled and tripled and quadrupled year after year to cover up the problems. And now it's just a big problem. A big overdeveloped county, lost in its own code, that's losing its complete character. And we deserve better. I'm Alan Osborne. Don't be scared of the Goliath. Be the David. Believe. If you know you're right, stick it out. Till next time, y'all keep them straight. God bless you, Fred Tricker. I hope you're smiling about this, because I'll miss you. Till next time, I'm Alan Osborne.